we got to go ahead and talk about this whole situation where Vivek Ramaswamy decided it'd be a good idea to defend Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes after they got banned or rebanned, I ought to say, from YouTube after a ban evasion.
My understanding is in the last 24 hours, you locked the accounts and shut down the accounts of two guys, Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones. They have big followings on the American right. I think it's better if you just unlock those accounts and let the guys be heard. And I say this not because I'm some particular fan or vice versa. At least one of them, Nick, is probably a particularly big fan of mine. No more than Jimmy Kimmel is, by the way, for very different reasons. That's beside the point. It doesn't matter. The reason I'm asking you to do it is that censorship isn't good for America. It's antithetical to our culture. And we're the country on God's green earth where we're able to talk to each other in the open. And I want to credit YouTube and Google and your parent company and so much of your competitors in Silicon Valley for creating the first instance of the free and open internet with search engines. It's a beautiful thing for democratizing speech. But I think we take a step in the wrong direction when we choke those same technologies that allow us to access open debate and open ideas. It breeds discontent. It breeds frustration. It actually breeds mistrust. If you tell people they can't speak, that's when they scream. And if you tell people they can't scream, that's when they tear things down. So I think free speech is a precondition for peace. It's a precondition for the scientific method. It's a precondition for our shared unity, our shared national identity as Americans. Now, I can understand why you might think that certain types of speech or certain things that are said that are hurtful to other people or that may spread misinformation or may they count as violent or dangerous threats shouldn't be allowed on your platform. I personally take a broad view of what type of speech is an expression of an opinion that's protected, but it's a separate discussion about whether somebody says a particular thing that you think doesn't belong on your platform. That's one category of speech moderation. There's a different category of saying that you may demonetize certain people. You're not going to pay them. That even if they're able to speak on your platform, it's not necessarily their right to be paid for doing so or putting advertisers next to their name. That's a separate discussion. Personally, I don't like any of those forms of speech suppression as a general matter, but at least those are discussions that reasonable minds can have. There's a whole separate third category of censorship, though, that I think is particularly harmful, which is the idea that just because of who you are, your name and who you are, you don't get to express any idea, whether it's misinformation, hateful speech, whether it's dangerous or whatever you deem it to be. Irrespective of that, you're not making that judgment. Just based on who you are, you don't get to speak. I think that breeds mistrust. I don't think that's good for our country.
Now, there was a community note that was added saying YouTube shut down Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes' new channels today because they were previously terminated for repeated violations. Examples: hate speech, misinformation, and creating new ones violates YouTube policy, aka ban evading. Hell, sometime yesterday, YouTube made a whole response to this whole thing saying, we terminated these channels as it's still against our rules for previously terminated users to start new channels. The pilot program for terminations that many folks referenced this week isn't available yet and will be a limited pilot program to start. We'll have more to share on how the pilot program will work, who is eligible, and how creators can access it very soon. We've seen some previously terminated creators try to start new channels. To clarify, our pilot program on terminations is not yet open. It's still against our community guidelines for previously terminated users to use, possess, or create other channels, and will terminate new channels from previously terminated users in accordance with these guidelines. We'll have more to share on the limited pilot program soon. And if people want to know what the pilot program is, it's pretty much a gateway or pathway back to where you can come back to YouTube for some people who were once terminated to set up a brand new channel. This will be a limited pilot project that will be available to a subset of creators in addition to those channels terminated from policies that have been deprecated. More to come soon.
Banned! Blocked forever!
And this is the whole reason why their ass got hit with the ban evasion, because they thought that that policy was in effect right now, but it's something that is something new. That's, I guess, there is kind of some type of beta test or whatever, just to see like if they can, you know, find any wrinkles, any kinks to kind of iron out before they roll it out as like a permanent thing. And it's only going to be a select few. So I'm guessing, let's say if your channel, I don't know, got wrongfully terminated for, you know, copyrighted music, or if you had a bunch of videos get false flagged on YouTube, in my opinion, that's something that's more admissible for the pilot program as the latter for hate speech. And I'm guessing both of those doofuses thought that that meant them. No, if you say some wild shit on YouTube, they're not gonna bring your ass back. They only gonna bring back people who were wrongfully terminated, not based on what they said, but off of a mistake. Like if it's anything to do with copyright, if it's anything to do with mass reportings of a video, if it's anybody who abused the copyright system, things of that nature, and you were wrongfully terminated, then those are going to be the people who end up coming back on YouTube. As far as what Mr. Ramaswamy said, like, I don't think he really understands what he's asking for. You're asking two people who have spread hate speech and misinformation, and granted, misinformation is one big vague umbrella. If you're just on your platform saying somebody did something, but you're not showing it in the video, which is the bare minimum of show and tell. You ought to, you know, show something what you're talking about instead of it being a case of, oh, let me tell you about this story but not show you anything. Unless, you know, of course, if it's one of the stories where it depicts something violent and you can't really show it on YouTube due to policies.
Banned! Blocked forever!
Or another example would be, if y'all remember way back in the time machine in February early this year, where there were some people who got a bunch of false community guideline strikes, and even to a degree got outright terminated because they were speaking on the whole DJ Academics thing with him, you know, doing that weird shit he did on Twitch. And if you were one of them people that got terminated, this pilot program could be for you. We just got to wait to see what it's going to look like. You got to understand, the advertisers run YouTube now. It's not like how it was when YouTube first started in 06, or hell, way back before a thing like AdSense even existed. Nowadays, because of certain people and certain adpocalypses that's happened, these ad companies, you might as well say that they run to YouTube. Google and YouTube answer to the ad dollars, and not necessarily how it may have been many years ago. They didn't have much say so in what type of ads were played on certain videos. That's why you may have seen some wild shit that may have been on YouTube way back in the heyday. Like, if you only knew the lore of YouTube and type of wild, egregious shit that was allowed to be posted on the platform, it's one of the things, whatever Rumble allows nowadays, that's exactly what YouTube allowed back in the day. Only problem is, if Rumble really tried to compete with YouTube, they would have the ad dollars. But because they're thinking, oh, we get more people here, more people on our side, then that'll attract more ad dollars. No, the ad dollars run the world now. You either get with the program or you get left back in 2013. All in all, hate speech isn't free speech. It should not be allowed on this platform. And let it be a lesson in ban debating. You would think that it's the simplest thing to not do, especially when a new policy is about to roll out. With that being said, y'all let me know what you think about this mess in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.